Alright, so I guess I'm going to be picking up where I left off yesterday. And I think everything is at the correct level. Yeah, it sounds good to me, but it always sounds pretty good to me. So, and then I watch it back and I'll be like, damn, it's too low volume or whatever. But yeah, alright. So, yesterday we had review tech. We got him in the game. We added our script. However, we did not add anything to that script. We just have our character and our armature. So, what I'm going to do is, let's get rid of that, and we go to our enemy test right here, which is actually Cryax, and I'll go to our testing area and just display what we have. So, we have this here. Those are some invisible walls, but this is a nav mesh on the ground, so we can walk around, and we'll just display what happens when we gotta do the start screen, I forgot. Now it's gonna take a minute to load. Of course. Alright, so we just need this to subside. There we go. We gotta start from the start screen. So this will be showing off the example of the enemy character that I'm trying to build and how it's going to work in the turn-based environment. So we just have to wait. It's going to take us to our loading screen. We'll select what game we want to load, and then we'll load that one in. We'll load that game. And we will be... There we go. We'll be in the game. So these are all player characters, King Cobra, Wings, Ethan Ralph, and DSP. Those are going to be our our good cows, I guess. And then we got Cryax over here. He's a baddie. He's a bad cow. So we're going to grab King Cobras and approach him to beat the shit out of him. But Cryax is wild. And he moves into the contact state. These are states above their head, so now he's entering a turn. We have this battle arranger up here, which is showing all their stats.
And I will destroy you.
He targets like low HP enemies and tries to kill them. I think Ethan should be dead right now, but he's not playing the animation because his health should be below that. And I just need to make sure that updates.
And I will destroy you.
And so he should have about 5. I think I gave him 6 attack points, so each attack was 2 points.
I lose my fucking temper.
So we got 3 in that
over
turn.
these stupid fucking assholes.
So now we're in King Cobra's turn, and we don't have free use of the camera, which I need to fix, but I think we can. If I do this, it kind of breaks it, and then I can go into free roam mode again. But yeah, essentially that's what we have, and we need to start adding more enemies so I can actually do combat and stuff. And look at that, the camera is actually already better than Baldur's Gate because it actually goes where you want it to go. Isn't that insane? Wow, look at that. You can zoom in as far as you want. So yeah, that's what's going on. So basically what I'm going to do is take our enemy test. Should we include Pamps? I don't know. I don't know, man. I really don't want to animate him. But, yeah, possibly. Let's see. We got, okay. So let me just get rid of some of these ones we don't need. Testing area, I'm not going to run from there, so I'm going to close it. Probably should leave that open. Ethan Ralph we're going to close for now. We need review tech and enemy test, and we're going to put them side by side. So we'll look at Cryax's script, and then we're just going to kind of copy and paste, and I'll explain as I go how the stuff works. So first we just have some constants in here, a jump velocity, which we're never going to use. I'm actually going to just get rid of that. And then we have a range multiplier, and that is basically the amount of units that's being applied. Whenever we like target an attack, we have like a range, and it'll be like 1 through 5, and it will apply like 35 units in the game world, or 35 times 5 units. So that's how we get our distance from the character that we can hurt other people. If that makes any sense. Probably not right now, but we'll just copy that over. So we need our speed and our range multiplier. We also have an attack circle and our player image. So we're going to need those things. Let's copy that over. And we need to add an image here. So review tech, and let's go ahead and make sure we got one. I think if I go to my documents and we go to I believe Barber's Gates. I think I already have one in here. Yeah. Which one? I guess. I think this one is probably the one we're going to use. But that's a WebP. I might have to do something. I guess this one will work for now. So we're going to copy that one and bring them into the Godot project, bring them into review tech, and let's just paste the thing in there. So then we need to get that file. Copy path. And we'll pop that in. And I thought you were going to bring in quotation marks, but you tricked me. So there we go. And let's go back. Alright, so now we have the player image that we need. The attack circle is, let's see what that is. So if we go to our 3D, that's just this little red thing we have around us. We don't really need that, but I'm just going to bring it in for right now. So let me... Oh, did I already get it? Yeah, I'm an idiot. Alright, so we'll just add in a mesh, I believe. Or actually, I know how I did it. Never mind. Alright, so I'll delete that. And then I go down here, and if I type attack circle, attack ring, here we go, and I'm going to bring it into the 3D environment, and I think it's just a mesh, so there we go. So then I can grab this and say make local. I can take this out actually. I think I can just delete this because I don't even need it, and we'll just call this attack ring. And there we go. Attack circle. Awesome. And that just kind of shows us when we can attack and when we can't attack. So that's what that does. Let me get some coffee. Hold on, I don't want to drink into the mic. Alright, so now that we got that, let's go back and see what we need next. So these are voice clips. So yeah, we got Cryax, all these, you kind of heard some of these. I'll have to get some of those for Rich, but I can't do it right now because I'm recording with OBS, and I use OBS to like scoop them from YouTube videos. So I'm just going to skip past the soundification up here, and oh, I do need to grab this though. So that is an onReady variable that we're making, and we're adding that up here, and we're going to call this rich main voice. This is basically a node that we attach that emits sound. So I can't remember, it's audio stream player. So we have the audio stream player here, and what that does is just emit an audio stream. So let me see if I can find a yeah, so this is like Cyrax's thing. This is going to be pretty loud, probably.
You ain't shit.
Alright, that's not bad.
You ain't shit.
But you can also adjust the pitch scale and be like, you know, or yeah, to represent his actual size, like a little fucking elf. But yeah, so that's what this thing does, and we're just going to put one on review tech so he can talk, and we're going to call it rich main voice. So let's go down here and get rid of it. Then we'll, yeah, okay, so we're good there. We got him a speaking node. Next thing we need to do is get him a, we're going to add some gravity. I think we do use this. I don't really have any gravity yet, and I don't really know how to have the navigation climb slopes yet. I haven't really tackled that challenge, but we're going to get to it eventually. So we do have to randomize some stuff, and then we also need to add ourselves to a couple groups, combatant and enemy. So that's the same for every enemy, so I'm just going to go ahead and plug that in too. Is there any advantage to loading from resource path over exporting the variable to the inspector? I don't really know. I've just kind of done it this way most of the time. I just find it easier. But I don't know if there's an advantage to it or not. So, this is kind of like a helper function. I'm going to just go ahead and copy it. I think what I do here is I like make choices between which enemy to attack, and it's like if they have the same health and the same everything, then we call this, and we say like just choose a random value from the list, man. So that's what that function is. We're going to go ahead and paste that in. We'll then grab this, the animation player, so we know we're going to need a reference to that. We know we're going to need states because we're going to have a state machine, and we're going to have battle points. That's the amount of points we can you know, each ability is going to be like 1 point or 2 point, and it'll subtract from that, and when we reach 0 points we can no longer you know, battle, so it'll be the next person's turn. So we're going to copy that as well. Save file name. This is when we load our save file from the start screen, we get a save file name, and then that's where everything's going to be stored. So like our player positions, where we are in the 3D world. So eventually, like, you know, this would be an area and there would be houses and shit, and you could go in here and buy stuff, and then everything would be saved using that variable there. The get save name file, we'll save it all to that save file. The stats, and that goes to our game manager, which is a singleton. If I bring that up over here, we have a game loader and a game manager, and the game manager, it manages the game. You know, what do you know about that? All right. So going back to this, because there's a lot of fucking shit to go through, but so yeah, we got that, and these stats are just being this is basically nothing but importing these stats, and we put them into a yeah, we basically put them into this format right here, which is a dictionary, which we can grab stuff from for the entire character. That's the way I've decided to do it. And if I go here, we have these player stats like text here, and I'm gonna have to add in our buddy review text. So let me figure out which one we're currently using. I actually need to go to the game manager and type load current game. I don't think that's it. I think that's, I need a different function. No, which function do I need? I completely forgot what we were doing. Okay. Damn. What did I need to change? It was one variable. Fuck it. Alright, we're gonna keep going. So, I know I need a reference to the animation player and shit. Oh, that's right, the TXT. I need to figure out which TXT we're loading from for the player stats. Okay. Game manager, let's just type in TXT, because there should only be a few. So, player CSVs, latest. So that's the one I need to change. So we'll go there. That's the wrong one. I need the one with the... Let's keep going. Damn. Oh, maybe that's in game loader. Alright, you know what? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's just keep rocking with this other script. I could be wrong on how it works, so... let's close that. Go back to this mode. We'll go to richest script. And we'll start bringing it in. Sorry, that threw me for a loop. Okay, so we'll grab all this stuff right here. And bring that in. And we'll paste it. And so we have to change some stuff like the animation player. We're going to have to go to this animation player here. So that looks good. We'll actually close the animation player and take a look. So all that should be fine. So get base skills. Let's go and find that function in Game Manager. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, this is the one I want, corrected. So then we'll find that in here, corrected.txt, and we have to add, what we're going to call them, dickers. I usually export, but it's kind of gets messy if you don't manage it. Yeah, yeah. Godot, like, exporting and all that shit is always tricky. Especially if you're trying to use, like C# or anything. So I'm going to, I think I am going to call them dickers. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So next we need to enter in two abilities. I was going to have blind, blind and beg. Well, DSP has beg. What do we need for this one? Damn, I need some type of attack for him. I guess we'll do Sucker Punch. That seems like something you would do. Sucker and Punch. Okay. So speed, well, he can't be that fast. We're gonna put him at maybe a 10. For reference, DSP is 19. A regular player who is not a lolcow would be a 30. Ralph is a 25. Wings is a 15. Cobes is a 30. And Cyrax is a 35. He's a quick little fuck. So we're going to keep going. Intelligence. So, I mean, he's relatively somewhat, you know, intelligent. I think his problem mainly is being, lazy. And it's a 1 to 5 scale. So 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest, we're going to give to a base stat. And so 3 seems pretty safe. Let's see. Health. He can't be a very healthy man, but since he's big, we're going to give him a lot of health because he's going to be like a tank. So we're going to do like a 4. And then magic. He's not magic, not like Cobra. His autism, though, is probably around a 3. We're going to give him a fair stat for that. So we're going to save that text file right there, and then we can actually load him with the line that we added. So let me go back. I think I can just do that. Yeah, no. One more time. And there we go. We are in review text script. Awesome. So, yeah, when we get our base skills, we want to say, what did I say, dickers? Let me double check that. What did I call that? Corrected. Awesome. Pop it open. Yep. Let me copy and paste to make sure I don't mess it up. Cool. Yeah. So we copied and paste. We're going to save. So now we should be able to get those stats when we enter into the game, and this will, everything kind of comes in as a string, so we have to convert it to a float, and that's what we do to get our current health, is just get the stats that we imported. So we'll have 4 health, and that should show up on our player card when we load into battle, hopefully. Let's keep going. So next we really get to the meat and potatoes. Let me grab another sip of shit. Alright, so we got our physics process here. We're going to go ahead and just copy all of it for now, because there's really not much to it. It's basically just a state machine. When I bring it in, I'll explain it. So if you're not familiar with the concept of a state machine, we're just getting a lot of red right now because we don't have any of these functions, but we're going to add them in as we go. So this basically just segments out our code. We're only going to, do whatever we're in the current state of. So if we're in the combat state, we can access all of our combat functions. If we're idle, we're just going to be sitting idle and not doing anything. If we're following a path, we'll be following a path. Basically, we don't want to have a whole bunch of if statements here. We want to have one match statement and then be in like a state of certainty in about what we can do without having a ton of if statements. So that's how you handle that, is you make a state machine. This is the simplest one you could make. Every tick of the physics process, we are updating the current state. So we have our if current state is not equal to next state, and we're not doing that. The physics process automatically in Godot is going to be running constantly. So every 60 frames, this will be running one time per frame. And all we're doing here is checking if the incoming state is not equal to the next state. Then we'll just print, actually we're going to update the label 3D we need to make over the character to show that he's changing from one to the other. So if we're like running and we stop, we just want to update the label and say we stopped. And this is where we actually update the states every frame. So the previous state is the one we're leaving, the current state is coming in. So we set the previous to the current one that it is now. We then take the current state and set that equal to the next state, so the incoming one. So unless we change states, it'll just be the same one over and over again, and we'll stay in combat. But if we change, then it will go from combat to idle or wherever. So that's the way we're going to handle that, and that's pretty standard. And we made those these variables up here. So we do need to make this label 3D. So we're going to go to Review Tech in the 3D and add a label. Oh, I think it's called, I'm just going to type 3D because it's called like a text 3D or something. Label 3D. No, I'm an idiot. Alright. So we got that there, and let's just make it a little bit bigger because it's probably going to be, definitely can't be as big as Dicker's. Let's put some text in there and we'll say hello. Hello. And then we're going to make that font size a lot bigger. We also want to take the, should be some flags here. Yeah, we're going to set this to enabled, so it's always pointing at us. We'll move it up, and then we're going to give him a fun and unique color. Look at that. That's the color of his energy. And so then we'll keep going with the code. So we need to make all these functions, and we're going to kind of copy and paste them as we go, and then all the red will go away. It'll filter through. It's singled out. So we're going to grab these turn attack. That is a state that we can be in, as you can see right here. And so this is all of the things that we're going to do when we get to that state. So basically the way combat would work is when we enter, we'll be in the contact state, and then we'll move to the turn-based. And this is where we're just kind of stand idle and not do anything. And then when our AI decides it's time to attack, we'll move into the turn action, then the turn attack, and return back to the turn-based. We'll check how many battle points we have, and we'll repeat that until we're out. Then we move the exit turn, so we can do some things on the exit of the turn. and then it goes to the next player, and we return back to this turn-based idle state. So basically, once our attack is initiated, we go into this turn-based state on all the players, so they're all kind of suspended, and we can't move them at all. Kind of like you're locked in combat. So that's how I handled that. And then the follow path right here is just him running around following, like if you had an enemy, follow a like a guarding path. So that's what that is. And the idle is just idle. And then I can't remember, I think this is unused, but right here, turn attack, and then you can see these are the attacks that come in from our CSV. It's another one, if we get the latest here, we have like Stink, Area of Effect on Caster, Poison Cloud, and it's got all of these variables. Well, we can access them right there, in that one right there, that function. So let me go back to Review Tech. So, okay. Did I copy? I think I copy and pasted into the wrong fucking thing. Awesome. Let me close a lot of these. I'm going to close all. There we go. And then we're going to just open Review Tech and Enemy Test. That'll make it a lot easier for me. So we're going to grab Turn Attack, Control C. We'll bring it into Review Tech, bring it down here, and Control V and save. And yeah, we're going to have a lot more red. That's going to happen a lot. So let's keep going. Hit enemies in range. So this is what we use when we're actually... when the spell is called. So we play this, we run this function, and all this does is check for all the players that are in range of whatever we're hitting. And then it tells those player bodies, like, hey, you're in range, so you need to react to this, and you need to take damage accordingly. So that's the player.takeDamage, and we will have a take damage state as well. Well, not a state, but we'll have a take damage function somewhere in here, I believe. But yeah, so did we already copy that one? No, we did not. So I'm going to go ahead and grab it, and we'll give it a plug-a-rooney right there. We'll then grab the set state. I don't think we ever actually use this because you can just set it by saying like node.next state, and then you can just set it equal to whatever string you want or whatever you want. But you could use this function, and I'm going to include it because I can't remember if I was using it or not. In like classes and stuff, they'll kind of tell you to use that. But I'm not a very good programmer. I just kind of mess around. So this is the turn action, and this is where we are. I think we've. I can't remember what we're doing in this one. Oh, so this is where we're actually moving in combat. So we need a state between hitting someone and when we move to them. So this was basically what this is kind of a breaking point between actually attacking and being able to move to them. So that's what turn action is. So let me copy all that. And I'm going to grab a sip of Waterloo. Alright, so we're back in it. Awesome. We have reassess battle strategy. I know this never gets used, so I'm not going to copy that one. Basically, that was from an old thing that I did before I started doing it the other way. Exit turn, we do need this. This is when we exit the turn, and the game manager handles stuff. So, like when we're leaving, we tell the game manager to increment turns, and then if we go to the game manager, we go to the game manager, we'll say open, oh fuck, where is he at? Game loader, no, game manager. And what was the function I wanted to display? Oh, increment turns. Control C, Control F, pump it on in there. Increment turns, so yeah, you can see we're acting on the camera. I just kind of wanted to show that they're all kind of connected, that they will like change states between each other. So this is like telling the camera to turn its state over and stuff like that. But I'll go more into that after we finish the character. So we got turn action. We're in enemy test, exit turn. We're going to need that shit. We're going to copy it and we're going to paste it, and I have to probably stop swearing because YouTube doesn't like it, so I have to not do that. But we're going to keep going and grab all of this crap. Enter turn. This is what happens when we enter the turn. We basically just play this animation, and we could add a little audio clip here, but we're not going to. Yeah, and then we'll paste it down there. We'll save. We'll go to enemy test. Turn-based. So this is basically an idle state for when we're in the turn-based combat. All we do here is just display a ready animation, and you can see the voice. This is when we do our taunt, like you ain't shit or you ain't nothing or whatever. So we'll grab it and we'll paste it in here, and of course we need to exit these out, and we don't have an AI log yet, so we'll leave that in. We also need to make sure our animation player has these functions, so let's go to animation player and we'll look. Do we have a ready, or do we have like a I think the spell idle will be fine. That's a good. Yeah, he's using his feng shui. We'll just do that to let us know he's in the mood for fighting. So whenever we enter our combat state, he's going to do, what do we call that? What was it called? Spell idle. There we go. So nice. And cool. Let's keep grabbing stuff. Oh, we also need to change this taunt. So what do we have for a taunt? What type of taunts do we have? Of course, it never opens when you want it to. Chicken dance. I think a chicken dance would be a good taunt. We don't want to loop it though, because we want it to end. And that will initiate him to move to the next step. So, yeah, let's put that in there. He doesn't want to be a chicken. He doesn't want to be a duck. Cluck, 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 cluck. We put that in. Next, we need to enter contact state. So, I'm not sure. I think this is called when we enter. Okay, yeah, so we have a contact state like on Cryax when the way he like actually knows we're in his like area is when we reach his bounding box here, and that sends a signal to the enemy unit that, like, you know, we're in his territory and he's got to defend it. So that's not exactly what this does right here, but it's part of that. So we're going to copy both of these. This is just part of his alert system to know that we have been sighted. Okay, so we need to get rid of these two because we don't have any voice clips yet, and I'll add those off stream because I can't do it when I'm streaming because I need my recording software. And we'll just put the spell idle here. The thing is, it moves so fast from this contact state into the turn-based state that this animation's never going to play. So I just put them as the same one to like negate any glitches, but I don't know. That sounds right to me. And let's see. Let's keep going. We'll go to enemy test. So these are some of the things that actually make our combat work. So I have this assess players, and what this basically does is it takes our first spell that we have, and it takes our second spell that we have, and it makes a strategy based off those spells, their cost, and how many people we can kill with them. So it first looks for like low health players. So if we had like, it'll check if the spell is an AoE, like if it can hit multiple people or if it can hit a single person. And if it can hit a multiple people, what that range is, it'll then take that range plus our movement speed, plus our movement. And if we can hit like this group and the range will hit all of them, it'll say, all right, we got 3 targets here. One of them is low health. That's going to be our healthiest opportunity. That'll be 2 points. And then we have King Cobra over here. And he has, 1 point of damage, but we don't have an AoE that'll reach him. So it should do like 1 AoE here, and then with the remaining points go over and bitch smack him once. So that's what I was trying to accomplish, and that's what should happen. It should keep going through basically turn action and turn attack until it's out of battle points. And we do that by saying create increment strategy, and we basically assess a multi-hit A, assess a multi-hit B, and then if those return false, well, we always assess the singles anyway, but basically if we can't hit multiple people, this will return false, this will return false, and we get those from these functions down here that we're going to copy. If it's true and we want to place an attack in that area, it'll return a vector, and that'll be where we want to attack. Actually, it returns a dictionary of like where we want to attack, how many enemies we're killing, and how much I think where to go to. So yeah, for right now we're just going to copy all this because we're going to need all of it. Control C, and our best friend there, Control V. I'm going to save that. We'll close the output tab, and what do you know? We get a whole bunch of errors. Errors, errors, and errors. But look at this. The red up here is going away. It's getting happier by the second. So, assess players, that's our assess players function. So we go to enemy test, and we're going to keep copying. Okay, yeah, so this is the, I need this right here. I'm just going to put this up at the top. This is basically what we return from these functions here. This get multi-data, this is what it returns. Our target position, the number of enemies we're hitting, the number of enemies killed, and the spell we're using. So we have all that information to put a little blinker on and attack there. So nice. Let me keep copying now. So, yeah. So these are. This is this function here, create increment strategy, taking in all of the stuff I just talked about. So we're getting the type of, and the way you can find this is if you go to, I think it's variants. Right? No. Let me do this. Type of. We click on that guy, and then we click here. So, shit. Type of variant.type. So yeah, these are all the types. Sorry. So we can see that a vector 3 is a 9. We can see that a dictionary, which what we're expecting is going to be a dictionary, is a 27. So that makes more sense when we go back to our script. So right here, this is our A multi, B multi, A single, and B single. So our A multi is correct. We can attack. This is a dictionary saying that we could place an attack on our A multi position. This is a bool saying that we can't attack with a B multi, we can't attack with a single, and we can't attack with a B single. That wouldn't make any sense based on the parameters. So we then just assess if we have the battle points, and if we do, we return the dictionary at which we're supposed to strike. So that's basically what all of these do. I'm not going to go through all of them because they're all just different combinations we can have of like what we return and what would be the best course of option. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of coding all this like on the fly, but this is the best I can come up with. So what we're going to do is just copy and paste all of it for right now. Because that's the most base way to approach this problem. And let me go back up. So Control C, and we'll bring it on down, and Control V. There we go. Let me close that. So we have all that coming on in, and I'm just going to shut this down to make it a little easier and save, and we'll go back to enemy test. Oh yeah, well you're welcome for the tutorial. Yeah, I'm making another one for Python now, but it's probably going to take like another month to get out. I just like doing them. I think they're fun. But yeah, so we're on the enemy test. I already got this one. I need the enact battle dict. I don't think we're actually using this function anymore, so I'm not going to copy that one over. And then get battle strategy. This was my old way of doing it, which didn't work so good. So I'm not going to. These two I'm not going to copy over. Get closest point to circle. This is a helper function, and I think what this does is once we when we attack an enemy, we get the position they're like exactly at, and we want to get a position close to them. So we're going to need that function. So I'm going to come down and paste some stuff in there, and we're just going to keep going and get this whole thing coded. Alright, so we'll go back to enemy test, move closer to enemy. Looks like that didn't make it to the final cut, so I think I'm just going to probably get rid of this. I don't see any red lines, so that's probably fine. So get single data. This is where we check for our enemies. If we can hit them with our single attack. So we basically do that by, I have this distance from us dictionary, and that is basically a dictionary of how far away each character that we're going to fight with is. And then we have our, I think our range dict is like, oh, okay, so range dict is where they are. Is where they are on the map, and then we get our distance to them from ourselves, and we add that to our distance from us dict. So now we have the distance they are from us, and then we check for killable characters, and those are ones that we can kill with this spell in one hit. So I think we then cross-reference those and say if we have those characters that are in range and they're killable, then we're going to add those to our in range and near death. And let's see, if we have only, that is a list that we add to, so we could have a bunch of lists in here, and that would be like lists of all the enemy nodes. So we basically check, and if we only have one group of enemies in here, then we attack there. If we have more than one, then we, it looks like we just pick a random one and attack, and that's why we needed that random function. So yeah, that's the get single data. So we're going to copy that function. Control C, and then we'll pop it in. Control V. We're going to close that. And function combat. Oh, well, don't worry about that. That's fine. So let's keep going. Show range and attack location, so we don't use this. I'm just going to get rid of it. Get multi-data, so this does the exact thing that the get single data did, but except for like multi, and so it's got to check for so let me see if I can find it in here. So we also have this AI log, which will kind of log what our like decisions do along the way. So like you'll see here, append, we don't have the AoE range to hit more than one character with range blank, and then this will display the name of the spell. That probably should display the range, but whatever. So we do the same thing down here. We are targeting the only group in range with our AoE, and then we got our spell name being displayed. So yeah, this is basically just picking a group to attack. And we're going to copy and paste it. Wowee. Because we're super cool lite coders. So Control C, and then we will pop that on in there. And we'll save it, and then we're going to have a ton of errors to correct. It's going to be awesome. So much fun. Strip brackets and quotes. I don't believe I actually ended up needing this guy, so we're just going to leave him out. Get individual assessment. Do we need this one? I don't know. Sounds like we might, so we're going to grab it. I think that I use this to like check in terms of a tie in some instances, so we're going to grab that one. And why are you complaining? I guess it's just saying I still need to add combat. I guess compare health. Where is combat? Let's just fucking Control F. Combat. Do we even have a combat function? Oh. So I'm almost certain this isn't used at all, but let's go ahead and add it in so that Godot stops screaming at me. So let's just pop this in somewhere relevant. Up here above all this bullshit. So is that all the functions? No, we still have idle, follow path, and take damage. So let's keep going. There's a lot of helper functions in here that I need, and that's what most of these are right here. So where was I? So we were right at this compare health, find key with longest list, check ability to reach position, check movement ability, cross-reference and return, calculate centroid. So I use ChatGPT for a lot of these, and I would just like describe the situation and be like, I have 3 nodes in Godot, I want to find the path to them, or you know, however I had to describe it, and then it would write this function for me and I would just use it. I think in here, like what it's doing is I would say I want to pass in a bunch of positions in an array, and I want you to get a center of all these positions, and then I use this to check if my spell, if my AoE I pass in, you know, if my AoE can hit all the enemies once I have that center. So that's kind of how I use all of these. So I'm not really going to go through each one and describe what they do. Group nodes by diameter, stuff like that. And this is like another helper function. Get overlapping nodes, calculate center points, get distance from combatants, get distance from combatants too. So these are all the helper functions. We're going to grab them up right now. And these just kind of like group and organize nodes. Compare health just compares the health between nodes. Find key with longest list. I think this one, I basically use this to find the biggest group of enemies. If we have like, you know, 4 enemies in range that we can hit, and then we have 5 enemies, I'm going to go for the 5 enemies because that's the biggest one. So that's, it'll return that key. That's what this function does. And I said I wasn't going to go through all of them, but probably will happen. So we scroll down and we copy and paste, and that's going good. Let's go back. Awesome. So we got all the helper functions. Now we're into the actual fun ones. So take damage. This is where we decide what animation to play when we get hit. So we'll go back to review tech, and we'll paste that in there. And we got react. Let's take a look at what 3D things we got. We actually do have a react. This is a Mixamo animation. So if we play that, that's pretty good. And his shorts are kind of messed up down there. I think the gravitational pull on his knee from the fat is too much. What's actually happening is the weight painting is off, and we can fix that in Blender and re-import, but that'll have to be done later. I have not considered building my own engine because I'm not that advanced. I just know how to use like Godot. Yeah, I would probably have a better job if I knew how to do that. But, you know, I kind of just like messing around. But, yeah, so we're going to use this one. We're not going to loop it because we want it to end. Just like Rich wants his torment to end. So we'll save that. We'll put react in there. So whenever he takes damage, we're going to have that. And then I'm just going to include for myself print we took damage, because I can't remember if this function even plays or not, but I want printed proof of it. So we will then go back to the enemy test and we'll say enter damage state, probably not being used. Combat, I think we already got, because it wouldn't stop annoying me. We got idle, and that will just play an idle animation, so we'll go there, and I think we just called it idle. So that looks good. We'll pop that one in. We'll keep going. So the navigation agent 3D, we need to put that in. And this is how comes we can walk around and see stuff. So, well, not see stuff, but navigate to the nodes that we're going to create when we navigate. Navigation agent 3D. And I think we can just leave the name the same as long as it's in the right path, which it is. So, yeah, that's awesome. We'll keep going. So we need these two things right here. Array position and position list. I think we use these to run from different positions that we can set in the game world. So this is how we use, like, if you remember like Metal Gear Solid or a lot of those games, they would move on like a track to here, to here, to there. So I can set positions in the game world and their walk from those positions. And I think that's what this list is for. So we're going to keep going. Move to point in combat. So yeah, that's what we use to move to a point in combat. You can see here we're telling our navigation node that we just made to set our target position to whatever the incoming position is. We have this state check, which means this is running at 60 frames in our process section. So this is only going to run once because it's only going to see if it's the, you know, the first frame. It'll run this, it'll loop our animation, and then this is going to run like over and over again. So it's going to get our next path position, change our direction to that. We're going to look at it, we're going to move and collide, and that'll what actually drives us forward. You know, that'll be our fucking momentum in the game world. And then once our distance is close enough to the target, that's when we switch to turn attack. So that's how we're handling that, is by switching states when we get close enough to attack. So for right now, that seems to be safe. Let me grab that and place that there lovingly. We'll go to follow path. And this is the one I use. We're going to need that too. This is the one I use basically to just have him kind of walk around the game world on a set path, like I kind of just described a second ago. So we throw that in there, and then instead of run Goofy, I know we have a run, so let's do Naruto run. Naruto, let's see what that looks like. Bam. And that one we do need to loop because he's going to be doing it. And that would be how Rich would attempt to run. So the other one we have is the... Oh, I guess we do have a Goofy run. So I think we're going to do Naruto because that's pretty interesting. Yeah. Naruto run. Nice. I think that's all we need to change for right now. And then we need to go back here and see what else to get. So we got the on timer timeout. I think we need to actually make a timer. So do you have a timer equipped? You do. Let's go and make you a timer. I think this timer initiates the run function. I just can't remember why. Get out of here. Yeah, so timer on. timer, timeout. And we already have that, so now it's connected. Nice. So what are your functions in here? 1 second and 1 shot. Bam, that's all you need is 1 shot. So we're going, we got that, we're going, gone. We got our count. I'm not sure what that's for. Could be for nothing, could be for a lot of things. For right now, I think it's just a cheap way for me to like check if we have already entered the state. So yeah, we're just going to Control C and we're going to bring that here. That looks like really bad code to me, but we're going to copy and paste it anyway and just assume that the past self knew what I was doing. So intention arrow, that's actually kind of cool. So if I go here and I say AI attack display, and I have this scene. So this is an arrow that I create here, and we have an animation for it which will spin it, and then we get our spell name, our targets, our range, and our position. So those are all passed in, and we can kind of give us an idea of what we're attacking. Then that red area should be our range that the spell should hit at. So I'm just going to demonstrate that one more time in here. I guess it could be different now that it's, you kind of see some of these functions. All right. Oh shit, that's right. I have to go to the start screen. Ah, damn it. All right, start screen. Alright, so it's still fucking loading. Wowee, alright, loadificate. Nice, so we're going in now, we click on him, we move down, and then we enter Cryax's domain.
You ain't shit.
So you can see the contact state, then moves to the enter turn. And it's assessing us and making a strategy. I give it a little wait timer. It's like a 4-second wait timer. Otherwise, it would be like just running through everything. But the wait timer makes it a little more like human readable. So,
I made you, and I will destroy you.
Yeah, he's doing his bitch smack.
I made you, and I
another
will
bitch smack on
destroy you.
Ethan Ralph. Then he ends his turn. Exit turn.
I lose my fucking temper over these stupid fucking assholes.
And then we're back where we were with Cobra, and there is a little bug up here where I didn't update the UI to show all their battle points and stuff, but yeah, I'll have to fix that. Alright, so I'm going to go back to review tech, and I'm actually going to take a quick break. So let me throw up a little label on the screen that just says be back in 5, and we'll leave Rich running his Naruto run for an eternity. No, like 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back. Let's keep going. And, you know, no rest for the wicked over here. So we got review tech. Nice. So we're at the here. The here and the now. You're here and I'm there. So, let's see. Awesome. So the intention arrow, I just showed you what that was. Create intention arrow. It's pretty obvious what that does. It creates one. So we'll grab that and we'll bring it in because we're going to need it. Then let's keep going and see what else we got. Create colored cube. I think there's something wrong with this. Oh, okay. So yeah, this does work. I was just using it wrong. Sorry, I forgot I returned the cube mesh, the cube mesh instance. Try saying that 5 times fast. Okay, let's keep going. Enemy test. That just makes a colored cube in a position of my choosing. It's kind of hard to visualize stuff, so I use this to block it out. And then we have a very important function on animation player animation finish. So when we have an animation finish, sometimes we'll move to the next state. Usually it's after we commence an attack. So if you saw Cryax in the stink attack earlier, he used his stink particles and started emitting. We then had the await get tree dot create timer. This basically makes a timer. It just makes a timer right here in this function, and then it connects it to that timeout signal, and so it waits for 4 seconds. This is basically like using the wait word in Python, but then it will tell the intention arrow that we made up there to kill itself, and it then moves us to the next state. But yeah, so the reason we use this little wait thing is it just makes it easier for the player to pick up on what's going on, and we can obviously put this to like a variable like increment time in the future. And so that way the person can choose like instant, you know, fast, slow, the speed of the game, you know what I mean? So that will be our last one. And we'll control C and bring this guy right on in there. And we have different animation names, and we're going to have to update these. So I'm going to leave a little comment that says, remember to update when codificating combat. So nice. Now let's fix some of these. So we don't have the I will destroy you voice clip, so we obviously can't play that. And that looks good. What else do we have? Strip brackets and quotes. We don't need that anymore. I was just using something incorrectly. So there we go. Now there's only one thing to do, and that is to throw review tech into our game and see if he functions. So we're going to go to our testing area, 3D, and let's add in review tech USA.tscn. So I think we got a pretty accurate depiction of him. Alright, let's go. Let's make you do something a little bit more fucking useful. I know that's out of character, but let's go to the testing arena. So yeah, I feel like that's the size he would be in real life to DSP, you know? Just like a whole head taller than him, but not like towering. Actually, he is a little bit tall. Compared to Ethan Ralph, yeah. Okay, so he doesn't have anything to initiate combat with. So we'd have to make that as well. Let's go back to our enemy test. I totally forgot about these enemy visibility things right here. So I think we did copy over the, let me check. Yeah, on enemy visibility body entered. So that's basically when when he walks into our like range that we can detect him at. So what that is an area. Let's go ahead and add that area 3D, and on top of that we're going to add a collision shape 3D, and then we'll grab the enemy test, and we just want to see what shape this is. Nice, so I just made a random shape that's about 34, so we're going to get a box, and we're going to go check the 3D on that. I think his range should be a little bit up to what he should detect. I just, you know, need him to function in this scene. And yeah, that looks good. And nice. So, is that everything we need? We need to rename that. What do we have it named over here? We're just going to Control C, and then we'll go back here and Control V, and now we should be good to go. Oh, we need to connect that signal. So node, let's see, what signal do we have connected over here? Body entered. Awesome. So body entered. What? I click. Body entered. Connect. I don't know why it went dark on me there for a minute, but there we go. So now it is connected here. Awesome. That's a little connector-rooney sign. You've never seen them. Nice. Okay. So now let's. So now he does have his little attack range. Let's put him over here. And yeah, we gotta go from the start screen. Awesome. Yeah, so we got DSP, we got Cobra, we got Cryax, we got Wings. We're gonna have to add him in. So, but never mind that for now. We'll load the game, and we'll see how Rich is feeling. Battle phase display. Okay, so we're going to grab Cobra, and we're going to move on over, and we're going to not rouse the Cryax, but we will, in fact, rouse the walrus over here.
You ain't shit!
So we're in the contact state, and I think he's frozen.
I made you, and you ain't shit!
Huh. So, obviously we're getting some glitches in here.
I made you, and I will destroy you.
No, he's on your team, Cryax. You can't attack him. So, yeah, obviously we need to do some changes to how we're doing stuff here. But let's let Cryax think it out, see who's going to beat up next. Oh, he's just really going at Rich. You know.
I made you, and I will
He made us, and he will destroy us. So I think we've been stuck in an infinite Cryax loop. Oh no, he's graciously
I lose my fucking temper
surrendered his turn to Cobra.
over these stupid fucking assholes.
And so the thing up here is all based on speed. So this should be whose ever turn is next, and then it's going to delete. I'm going to add some shaders to these. I want to have like poison effects come up and shit like that. But yeah, so what was wrong with Rich is he got stuck in the assess turn. And it's probably a lot more than that. Just because I haven't tried it with two types of enemies before. But I think that's a good place to stop for now. We basically got him in, got all of his functions going, and he can do the bare minimum, which is what he does on his stream, which is stand there and kind of move around a little bit. But that's, you know, that's a success. So, thanks for showing up, everyone, and have a happy Tuesday. So, I'm gonna write that on the screen. have a happy Tuesday. And then I'm going to grab my cat. Come here. Get a cat. Come here. Look. This is my cat. And she's going to say goodbye to everyone. Alright, later.